What is up, everyone? Give me 1 second here. Post a link. Why the title didn't update. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How was everyone's weekend? How was everyone's weekend? Get some tunes going on in the background. Okay. So, Q's up 0.8%. SPY up 0.6%. Not bad. So, what do we got here? Q's, right? We had these higher and higher lows. We have these lower and lower highs. Looks very, very solid. Is CPI today? Let's take a look. Let's get the economic events pulled up here. Give me 1 second. So most important events this week are going to be Wednesday and Thursday. I'll pull it up here. Here are the events. I'll post it in the watchlist section. These are the most important events. Let's go to 2 stars. 2 stars, there's really nothing today. 3-year note auction at 1 o'clock, nothing. So this is the most important stuff, Wednesday and Thursday. So that's all we really need to watch for. So, nothing really today. Qs, right? We are back above this previous support, right? This previous support was a big level, right? Acted as support, resistance, acted as resistance here. So if this can hold here at open, I would love to go long. Love to go long. SPY has an absolutely great chart. Let's clean this up a bit though. Right, so we have that previous resistance acted as support, and then we started to consolidate last week again, had these higher lows, lower highs, sitting right at this next level though, right? Previous resistance acted as resistance again, sitting right there. We do have a gap to fill, the upside right here, so we can watch that. Bunch of significant levels down below that I want to keep, but we do have a gap to fill coming up. So, but this is a solid chart. I would even consider taking, potentially a further expiration, maybe even Wednesday or Friday calls, looking for a move to 453 again, right? Because this is a solid chart, right? Looks like we pretty much had like a full retest. Right, so we broke out this downtrend, we pulled back. Let's see if from the fibs, right? If we do fibs from the low to the high, right off the 0.5. So right off the golden zone is where we bounced. So that's usually what happens. Usually what happens. Let's see. Apple up 1.4%. We have this previous resistance. We do have this previous resistance here that acted as a resistance again. So if this can hold, I think we can continue to push up, but we need to break 181.54. It is up 1.4%, so it's stronger than most names here at pre-market. So it is pretty interesting. But regarding flag break or anything like that, nothing really there, but it is in this gap. Whoops. Google looks fantastic, right? Google had this previous resistance. We were bouncing off that as a new support. We had these lower highs. We broke through, testing that resistance, and we're pushing up above, right? Kind of like a flag break. So this can definitely continue to run. I'm going to keep an eye on Google today. Netflix also. I think these are my top 2 watches so far. it's flagging. It's definitely flagging, right? We have the higher lows here, lower highs sitting right below the key resistance. If this breaks out, I'm gonna look to play Netflix. Right, Netflix looks very, very solid. We also have a big gap to fill to the upside. Right, if it can push through 452.81, we have a lot of room to run. So this could definitely push to that this week. Could definitely push this week. Oh yeah, it's September, so you know this is when Apple typically comes out with their new information. Yeah, so I wonder when that event's gonna be. They usually have those events this time of year. But this looks great, Netflix. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Nvidia also looks fantastic. Right, we had that huge shelf here at 452. Right, support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 lower and lower highs, and we're pushing up here. That looked great. 9/12, so it's tomorrow. All right, good. We'll have to watch that, or I'll definitely watch that. I'm definitely interested to see what the new iPhone's gonna look like. Who plans on getting that new iPhone? I'll be getting it. I get the new iPhone every year. I don't know, just why not? It's 1 gram lighter. You usually wait 2 years. Yeah. So Nvidia we'll keep an eye on today. Also, we'll see, you know, how strong this is. Nvidia always goes crazy when it moves, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye there. Right, so we'll move that up a little bit. I think Netflix is my top watch so far, then Nvidia. Let's see what else we got. So Meta we played last week, solid move, but again it's being weird. It is sitting right below this resistance now. We can kind of draw it like that for now on. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Shop, nothing really. PayPal, I don't really like trading. Rivian, we could watch. I do like Rivian this week. Right, we had this break from this kind of flag tightening action. Broke to the upside. 23.71 is a previous level that we need to watch, which is, you know, where we're rejecting, and we're starting to flag here. All right, so let's see if this can run. You know, this could definitely run. Let's see what else. Microsoft, not really. Baba, not really watching. So Tesla is up 6.4%, right? Based on it had the Honda news, right? Yeah. But it is flagging, right? It was flagging. We had these lower highs, higher lows. Move this out of the way. And it is sitting at this previous level here, right? Resistance, support, resistance. All right, so we'll have to see what it does here, but we could probably play calls through that level. I'm in New York. I'm in New York. Oh yeah, don't even talk about the Giants. That was just embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Tesla looks good though. I mean, you know, solid chart. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see what else we got. Amazon looks good too. Right? Could draw it like this. Could draw it like that, like last week. We'll do this. This one's better. What's up, C-Dub? How you doing? All right, we have the previous resistance support acted as resistance again, acted as support here. And it is getting close to that previous resistance at 139.96. So I guess if it can break there, it should continue to push. Looks pretty good. I like the other charts a little bit better, but we'll keep an eye on it too. AMD, let's take a look at AMD. Still in this huge flag. Tried to break out last week. Couldn't do it though. Square, no. I don't really want to trade these names. So that's what we'll be watching. Qs looks solid. Looks like we can see some continuation if we can hold over 375.2. You had Joe Burrow on your fantasy. That's tough. That's tough. Daniel Jones screwed you. But yeah, that's brutal. I make sure to not take any Giants ever. No matter, even though they're my team, I make sure I don't take them in fantasy. Like they always just suck. So Netflix, one of my top setups today. NVIDIA looks great as well. Google looks solid. Tesla looks solid. Rivian looks solid. So that's the watch list, guys. Looks very, very good. Anyone got any questions about anything? You can definitely play Tesla through that 264. 264.77. Rivian looks pretty solid. I'm just going back through the watch list just to see what's going on here. And then SPY. Let's clean this chart up. All right, so SPY had these higher lows, lower highs. All right, we have this key. Let's see, where do I want to draw this? All right, so we have that resistance, the gap, 448.51. I'll have to use yellow. All right, we have this. Let's see, multiple touches there, right? Support, 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 resistance. And I'm going to draw it there, right? Support, resistance. I mean, resistance, support, support, resistance. So those are pretty much the key levels. In between there, it's like, you know, back and forth. Can I share my volume profile? It's just VRVP. That's it. And it bounced right off that 0.5. No problem. Don't forget the gap fill level 2. What you talking about? On SPY? Let's take a look at VIX. So VIX has this big shelf that we were looking at last week. Support, resistance, resistance, support, support. Sitting there again. I'm going to set the alert right here. Get notified. See if it breaks over. So I'm going to draw like that. Right, resistance, resistance, resistance. Broke through, but pulled back. And this we could potentially draw like that. $435.52. Oh, that's all the way down here though. Oh, 453. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, here. Yep, big gap above, right here. I was looking over here, seeing like, oh, there's no other gap here. I didn't know you were talking about up there. All right. Anyone have any questions about anything? So Netflix is not as strong as most names, right? 0.27% compared to everything else, you know, up 1% plus. So it's something I always like to consider. I always like to keep that in the back of my head. You know, why is it not showing as much strength as the other names, right? So even though it's, you know, my top watch, if something else starts to move first, I would consider that first, but, you know. Tesla's up 6.4%. Crazy. Rivian 1.9. So we'll see what happens today. All right, I'm going to go set up the Zoom. And let's get ready for a solid day. All right, I will see everyone in the Zoom.